Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. You can see your boy Devin Haney got the snack cocktail popping, right? Let me tell y'all something. Devin Haney has never had any issues as far as even being rumored to be taking banned substances. I just don't, he doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. A lot of these fighters who are working, I would say, with Victor Conte, the pharmaceutical genius, it always makes me raise my eyebrows when I see these guys seeking out these well-known pharmaceutical geniuses, right? But the reality of the situation is we have no reason to speculate that Devin Haney has done anything foul in the past when it comes to illegal substances. There's no need to believe that now. I just think Victor Conte is a guy just like the Heredias, the Uzma Sajads, the Arizas, who understand supplements, understand strategy, understand, I would say, drugs, and they understand the human body, the anatomy, and they know how to package things into what I call cocktails that will give fighters an advantage in training and also come fight night. So when it comes to their strength, their endurance, their recovery, their durability, all of that matters. And that's why you see a lot of these guys who are working with the names that I just mentioned. That's why you see them, from the first second of the first round to the last second of the last round, being able to push a little more than their opponents who aren't working with, I would say, a pharmaceutical expert. Now, that being said, Devin Haney getting ready for Regis Prograis. He's bubbling up to 140. I'm going to tell you this, right? When I go and read through comments about this picture and people suggesting, oh, Devin Haney looks like a bodybuilder. Devin Haney looks like he's, taking some bad substance. He probably has more juice in him than Gerald Miller. I got to say, hold your horses. Quit taking it to the stupid. This man, Devin Haney, right now, he's not even at 140 pounds. Okay? So what we should be looking at is how he's in such great shape with little body fat on him. I mean, look at his condition. It's such an aesthetic appearance, streamlined physique. That's impressive. Just to think he's got to cut more weight to get down to 140. And just imagine he was getting all the way to 135. I truly believe that's why Devin Haney's weigh-ins were done away from the camera after that first Kambosos fight, because of just like the outrage from boxing fans who were more concerned about his health. How could you let a boxer do that to themselves physically? Because he looked ghoulish. His eyes were sunken in. Like that weight cut Devin Haney was making to 135, let me tell you, the man should probably be fighting at 147. But he's still going to make an extreme weight cut down to 140. But the way he was able to get down to 135, I really believe it would have been impossible without the help of having a guy like Victor Conte, a pharmaceutical genius, in his corner. I mean, I understand strength and conditioning, and I understand his dad, and I understand this intimate circle of experts they have when it comes to just training and that he has access to. But I don't care what no one says. I think Victor Conte, his brilliance is what helped Devin Haney to get himself down to 135 pounds. I just don't think running and dieting is enough to get your weight off you. I remember back in the day, working out, and especially when I would start to cut weight, we used to take Zenadrin, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I didn't take that shit for too long, because you take that and, all of a sudden, you start losing weight. And that freaked me out, that I could take these pills, and all of a sudden, you see my face getting narrow, striations coming out in my body. So I think we did that a few times, man, but that was a short-lived experience, that Zenadrin crap. But this whole thing with Devin Haney, people just got to stop, man. This man has a nutritionist, dietitian. he has access to all the people that he needs, man, with the brilliant minds that will make sure he's in tip-top condition. Now, I will tell you this, right? When it comes to Regis Prograis, look, we can't count Regis Prograis out. Regis Prograis can fight. I just don't think he'll win this fight against Devin Haney if Devin Haney boxes. If Devin Haney stays in the pocket trying to shoulder roll and be cute, slip and counter, catch and counter, parry shots and counter, he could find himself getting hit and hurt and get knocked out because Regis Prograis can crack. But there are people saying that Regis Prograis' his resume is inflated. He has a bunch of tomato cans on there. People look at Devin Haney's resume, and some people are saying, hey, he has a lot of tomato cans on there. And when he did step and fight a credible opponent, some people feel that, he barely escaped. And they feel like he lost against Lomachenko, which I'm going to tell you right now. Lomachenko didn't beat Devin Haney. It depends on what you look at and what you like in fighting. But I watched that fight again, man, and I broke it down minute by minute. When you break it down minute by minute, even though that's not how they score fights, that's how I try to look at fights now that I feel are very close. And that's when I go and see a man winning 2 minutes and 30 seconds of a fight. Hard for me to give the last 30 seconds to a fight unless they knock him down, even if you put him on Bambi legs. But then again, did that one shot that hurt him, does that outweigh all the work they did for the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds? So it's real subjective. No one's wrong. I don't think anyone's right, but we all have an opinion. Excuse me. But for Devin Haney on December 9th, it's right around the corner. Damn. Talking about them damn snack products, man. Over here I got this the snack sneeze, right? But when it comes to Devin Haney on December 9th, man, I just think that's a tough fight. I just think it's a tough fight, man. That he can make it easy. Damn, boy. Excuse me. That's crazy, boy. I need to stop talking about this goddamn snack in Zinedrin. But this is something we need to take a look at. Because if Devin Haney... Excuse me. Let me do something real quick. Make this a little bit... Okay. So for Devin Haney at 140 pounds, let's take a look where Regis Prograis is ranked. He's number 2 as far as the ring ranking. So he's number 2 in their ranking stack. Really, Josh Taylor's out of the 140-pound division, so Regis should be ranked number 1. If Devin Haney beats him, then he should take Regis' spot. But that's not necessarily how that works. But when you come down here and you take a look, right, at what's going on, Devin Haney is bubbling up to fight Regis Prograis for this WBC strap. If he beats him, I know for a fact that you're going to have the Sando Martins, the Gary Antoine Russells, the Ramirez and Barbosas, right? They're going to get frustrated because if Haney wins that belt, they're going to want to fight Devin Haney. And the thing about it is Devin Haney and his team, they're already talking about making Devin Haney against a Teofimo Lopez, who has a WBO strap, or Rolly Romero. They haven't mentioned Subriel Matias, and they haven't mentioned any of these other natural 140-pounders because they still want Devin Haney to kind of grow into the division. But I think where they'd be the most comfortable is going and banging with a guy who is just at 135 like them, like Rolly or Teofimo, because maybe they feel that those guys are still settling into the 140-pound division, although Teofimo Lopez has had 3 fights at 140. But that being said, I think we need to become familiar with the WBC rankings to understand if Devin Haney wins that belt off of Regis and he decides to stay at 140. The reality is Devin Haney could have to face a Sando Martin. He could have to face a Gary Antoine Russell. The Barbosas and Ramirez. So the bottom line is this. Devin Haney really has nowhere else to go. At 140, any and everyone up at 140 that Devin Haney's going to fight are going to be beasts. So for those who feel Devin Haney hasn't really been tested, his resume is weak. Well, look, he's bubbling up to 140. And some people still say, well, he was a weight bully. He really should be at 147, so he's a weight bully at 140. I mean, to that I say, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. I mean, goddamn. Is there anything that a fighter does where we can give him credit for? I can understand people having the personal dislikes about Devin Haney and the language he uses and then all the other stuff, right? Like, those are things that I don't really care to hear. But damn, give this man some credit. I don't care if you're getting in the ring and you're knocking someone out and winning, or you're winning by coochie cooing them, by tickling them. Bottom line is, it takes a special person to get in that ring and keep winning over and over and over again. Matter of fact, for those of you who have never sparred, right? You'll find a gym in your local area and go out there and spar the guy who's only been boxing 2 weeks. See how that goes. Get a pair of gloves and go in and pull up one of them YouTube training videos and shadow box with it could be 16, 12 ounce, 10 ounce gloves, whatever. And try to shadow box for 3 minutes and see how your body feels, okay? It's not easy. It takes a special person to be able to go in there and get wins. And even though the secret society is in full effect a lot of times, it's to get in there and be in condition and be able to go the full 12 rounds. It's just not easy. It's just not easy. And I think Devin Haney deserves some credit. But for me, looking at this and trying to determine who he's going to fight next, that's a tough one. Because to go from 140, if he decides not to fight anybody here, and he decides to drop down now back to 135 and fight a Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson, I just think that's career suicide for Devin Haney. Because once a fighter normally goes up in weight, they don't normally drop back down. You know what I mean? Especially with Devin Haney is almost killing himself. I'm sure his internal organs probably on the brink of shutting down. The way this man's cutting weight to make 135. But if he did drop down to 135 for whatever reason, because he still has 3 of the 4 belts there, I mean, the only fight that would make sense to me is for him to fight Tank for big money or Shakur Stevenson, I guess, or the winner of Shakur Stevenson, Edwin De Los Santos, to go and become undisputed again. So he become a 2-time undisputed. But I don't see why he would do that. Like, it just, to me, wouldn't make any sense. But that being said, Devin Haney, he's looking good. I think he's going to be real comfortable at 140. And I think if he fights the right fight, I think he's going to make the fight look relatively easy against Regis Prograis. And that's just being honest, man. People talk about with Regis Prograis, he looked bad against Zorrilla. People talk about Lomachenko looked bad against Jermaine Ortiz. And they said Devin Haney cherry-picked Lomachenko because of how he looked against Ortiz. As a result, Devin Haney bit off more than he could chew because Lomachenko, when he turned beast mode in the second half of the fight, Haney didn't know what to do with him. They're saying they expect the same thing with Regis Prograis. He looked bad against Zorrilla. Devin Haney here is cherry-picking Regis Prograis again, and they fully expect Regis Prograis to get in the ring, and Devin Haney's going to realize he bit off more than he can chew. However, in this instance, they don't think Devin Haney's going to get to the finish line. They think Regis Prograis is going to knock him out, and that's going to be the end of Devin Haney. I don't know if I agree with all that, but I could understand the thought process for someone like me who thinks Devin Haney's going to outbox him, but also for someone to say, hey, you kind of cherry picking a little bit because you weren't really talking about this man like that until he got in there and put in that poor performance and got hurt in that first round. If that guy Zorrilla would have put a little more torque on that shot that caught Regis Prograis, he would have knocked him out cold. That's how hurt Regis Prograis was. I don't care what Regis says. He was hurt. But that being said, more to come on Devin Haney. I just think Devin Haney needs to be very careful coming back down here to 135, especially fighting a guy like Tank Davis, because Tank is comfortable at 135, and Devin Haney, if he's already struggling and he has to kill himself to get to 135, you may see a Terence Crawford, Errol Spence situation when it comes to Tank Davis and Devin Haney squaring away. And Tank would be the Terence Crawford, and Devin Haney would be the Errol Spence. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I'm in the breeze.